What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video, where today SHD Exposed is here as part of our global events for this week. I'm not a massive fan of this global event, but it does give me a chance to pull out our burn skill build, which, as you can see, I'm just using right here. And if you go cover to cover, you spread basically the exposed effect. So as you can see at the bottom, there is a bar underneath my ammo that builds up, then you run cover to cover and it spreads the exposed effect. And the good thing about this exposed effect, apart from letting us do some extra damage, is that it will proc our vial mask. So that's just really good, because that way then we will put the debuff from the vial already on enemies and start killing enemies when we've not even necessarily got a line of sight on them. So this is the build that you can see I'm running right now. This is from the previous time SHD Exposed was on. Obviously, when I'm making this video, it's not on as of right now, but it will be on the second I release this video. So I'll just let it run for a couple more seconds and we'll see how this next section gets on. But while we're talking, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. We're trying to get to 40,000 subs before the end of the year, so if you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And if not, drop me a like. If we get over 200 likes on the video, it really will help the channel out. So as you can see, things were just dying then from doing the cover to cover and getting the vial debuff on. We're going to set things on fire. I mean, this isn't necessarily going to be for you if you don't like doing skill builds, but you saw there, just doing the cover to cover killed them pretty much as they came out the door. So really easy. So let's flip to the build and I'll show you exactly what is going on. I'll do that in real time. So Iron Firewall is what you're going to want to have, because they will burn for 20% longer, which is really nice. And also we are going to be in cover, and we are going to be doing cover to cover, so 30% bonus armor during cover to cover just adds to our survivability a little bit, because we pretty much don't have any apart from using our skills to help us out. This is the build. Now I run a slightly older version. You don't need to get these golden gloves anymore. These were really hard to get back in the day, because this would be a blue core here, so you had to get status effects and skill haste on and then change the core attribute. Nowadays you can just get electric and that will do exactly the same, because the one piece bonus is 10% status effects. So you can either get them or you can get these, depending on which one you get lucky with. But then you only have to roll one of these, because the electric will come with a yellow core attribute, allowing you to have to just roll one of these, and miles easier to get. At the end of the day, what we want to do is give ourselves as much skill haste as possible and as much status effects as possible, so they burn for longer and then they will just die without causing us any bother whatsoever. Aside from that, the vial mask is really good, because like I said before, when we do the cover to cover, the exposed effect goes off and that procs the vial mask, meaning they'll start taking damage from toxic delivery, which is really good. Skill haste mod in here as well with skill haste. Now, if you don't want to run firewall, you could run technician, allowing you to put another red in here if you wanted to. That is just an option. I do like running the Scorpio, because again, the status effects will just proc and make things just all that much easier as well. But you could go blue screen with this as well, and that would also work really well. And then really easy to set up. You're just going to need 4-piece Eclipse protocol. Now Eclipse protocol benefits massively from the backpack and the chest. 2-piece bonus gives us status effects, 3-piece bonus gives us skill haste and has pro, and then the 4-piece bonus gives us our status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 10 meters, which is huge. And then it refreshes the 50% of the duration. Skill tier, status effects, skill haste, but the backpack amplifies all damage you deal to status effect enemies by 30%, which is huge, absolutely huge amount of extra damage, and your team will love you for this as well. Then with the chest, you can see I've got status effects and skill haste on, but then with the talent, it increases the indirect transmission range from 10 meters to 15, but it also refreshes the percentage from 50 to 75. Such a good talent, such a good set, no brainer to run the chest and backpack. And then the holster with status effects on, and the knees with status effects on as well. Then you're just going to want something that's going to give you fire. That can be either the chem launcher or the sticky bomb. Either way, it works really, really well. And that's pretty much it for the build. It just worked absolutely brilliantly for this GE, and it's just a pretty fun way to play, which, you know, we don't usually play too much on, you know, on heroic with this build. It's really good for running through time trials and things like that on easier levels. But although, you know, I say that, it can do heroic absolutely fine. You know, you've got nothing to worry about. So yeah, just really, really good. Now, fair warning, it's not great against every enemy. I made the mistake here with the Chunga. What I should have done is switch to the firewall specific firearm, unload the bullets into that, and then shoot him with fire, because that will then make him vulnerable to fire, and it will give you a much easier time. So as you can see here, I'm getting absolutely pelted with enemies because I'm essentially letting the Chunga put me out of control. But, you know, it doesn't matter too much, because, you know, when we put that status effect on, by going from cover to cover, all of a sudden our damage is amplified against him with the Scorpio or the blue screen. And yeah, it just makes for much easier. You've just got to keep in control of things and just be mindful of what it is you're actually running. And if I flip back, you can see the fire starter sidearm here that you should be using when you come up against these tank-like enemies. But that's going to be it for the video. I'm not a massive fan of this event. I'll probably just play it a little bit just to get some extra exotic components. But yeah, this build just makes life easy and just really does help out when you want to kind of clear things fairly quickly. And it works really well in a team as well, which is a massive bonus. And also, you don't need any expertise for this either. It will just work. Just get yourself to 6 skill tiers, get the Vial Mask, get some Eclipse Protocol. Really easy to put together and farm via Countdown. And yeah, you'll have a really easy time with this event. That's going to be it for the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I really would appreciate it if you help me get to 40k subs before the end of the year. That would be awesome. Drop the video a like. If we get over 200 likes, it really does help the exposure for the channel. Thank you for all your love and support. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, agents. Goodbye.